it's Harpy189, and the voices in my head coming at you from the Duelist Den. Well, I'm obviously not at the Duelist Den. I am at my mother's house in New York. Big old long story. Suffice to say that I've got some good news regarding my custody case for my son. I'm just up here dealing with a few little details. His mom lives in Pennsylvania, so I had to be closer to there, just this few hours away. So that's what I'm doing up here in New York. But I was actually on my way up here when the new ban list dropped. And overall, I have to say, not very impressed with this list. So before we get into the discussion for this, I do want to remind everyone out there to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on that notification bell, and follow all the social media accounts for the links down in the description box below so you can stay up to date with everything happening here at the Duelist Den. So let's go ahead and get into this list. The first hit was Summon Sorceress, completely banned outright. I do understand why Summon Sorceress was banned. Personally, I don't feel it was ban worthy. Limited, maybe, but I just don't feel Summon Sorceress was such a big threat that it deserved to be banned. I know a lot of you are going to give me hell for that because you disagree with that point, but it's just my personal opinion. Summon Sorceress did not deserve to be banned. It did need to get hit a little bit, but not banned outright. Next up, we have number 95, Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon. Again, a very, very powerful card. The issue I have with Dark Matter Dragon is the primary deck that's using this right now is Guard Dragons. A brand new deck just released. Konami is still trying to make money off of the Guard Dragons, and they banned one of the key cards in the deck. Now, I do understand just how powerful this card is, and yet, maybe after one or two more formats, hitting this card. But hitting it right now just doesn't make sense because it's going to, in a very small degree perhaps, stop people from wanting to play Guard Dragons because this is one of their key cards. Now, is it going to stop people from playing Guard Dragons outright? Definitely not. Guard Dragons are still very, very powerful, very viable in a variety of builds, but hitting this card is just going to stop some of those more out there builds, because I've seen Guard Dragon Blue Eyes, Guard Dragon Red Eyes, just a bunch of different builds, and a lot of them use this card. So hitting this card is going to go towards more of a standard Guard Dragon build where everybody's running the same thing. I just don't feel that's very, very healthy. And like I say, even from a monetary standpoint, from Konami's point of view, hitting this card makes no sense because it's going to stop you from buying product. The third card that got banned was the Phantom Knights Rank Up Magic Launch. Again, another very powerful card. I understand just how powerful this is, but considering that there are other things that definitely needed to be addressed, such as Thunder Dragons, for example, Trick Stars, just a lot of other things that could have been addressed, they went with Phantom Knights Rank Up Magic Launch. So, this one just doesn't make sense to me at all. I haven't really seen this in a lot of builds lately. At least not in my area. I haven't really seen a whole lot of deck profiles using this card. So why would they hit this card when it's kind of being phased out already through natural means? For limited cards, we have Lady Debug. Again, another very questionable choice considering Salmon Greats are brand new. Maybe, what, a month and a half old? And they're hitting one of the key search cards in Salmon Greats. Now, granted, there are other cards such as Cyanide Mining and Flame Buffalo, but Lady Debug was the go-to choice for the non-Salmon Great search cards for the deck. So, just again, from a monetary standpoint, this makes no sense for Konami to hit this card. The next limited card was Phantom Sky Blaster. I fully agree with this card. The first one I actually agreed with on this list was Phantom Sky Blaster, simply because they hit Scapegoat because it was a one-card link monster. They hit Gofu because they do a whole bunch of stuff with links, and now they're hitting Phantom Sky Blaster because, again, a one-card link 3 or 4 monster. So hitting this card does make sense because they hit all the rest of them, so why not hit Phantom Sky Blaster? The last card that got limited was Sky Striker Ace Kagari. Personally, I felt Hayate should have been hit, but Kagari does make sense as it does allow you to recycle your spells from the graveyard. Not that Sky Strikers don't have other ways to do that, but Kagari does make sense in this regard. It was the primary recycle card for the deck. Cards that got semi-limited, we only have one, and that is Super Polymerization. Now, I don't know why this got bumped up to the semi-limited. It may have been a handout to Salmon Greats for hitting Lady Debug, giving them more access to their Chimera to get problem monsters off their opponent's field. But this also boosts the Thunder Dragon deck, which, as you see from the rest of this list, didn't get touched at all. So, this, again, another questionable call in my opinion, for Konami to do, because a deck that does need to start getting phased out in Thunder Dragons got more powerful with Super Polymerization going up to 2. Now, it does also help Salamangreats, like I said prior, but they could have just left this at 1 and left Lady Debug alone and accomplished the same results and given them more room to hit something in the Thunder Dragon archetype. The last card on this list is the one that got completely unbanned. Only one got completely unbanned on this list, and that is Miscellaneousaurus. Miscellaneousaurus was the primary search card for the dinosaur decks, and with this card getting unbanned entirely, we are definitely going to see a lot of surge in pure dinos, Dino True Kings, Dino True Dracos, just a whole lot of dinosaur builds, different variations of dinosaur builds, and dinosaurs were a pain in the ass, and it wasn't just too long ago that dinosaurs were a top contender in the meta. So bringing this back now, when it was literally just hit, what, less than a year ago, doesn't really make any sense, because that's a pretty old deck and it can still do damage. Even with just one copy of Miscellaneousaurus, it still can do a lot of damage. So bringing Miscellaneousaurus back up to 3 is just going to allow them to do more and more damage in the current meta. So, I mean, as you can see, I have a lot of questionable calls for this ban list on what Konami did, and I really just don't agree with this ban list. But I would like to know what you guys think about this ban list down in the comment section below. Until next time, guys, it's Harpy189 and the voices in my head. Just want to say Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not just a game. Yu-Gi-Oh! is life.